Today's session is looking at M&E report writing and dissemination of results from Farida. So what is exactly a report? A report is a factual document written to a specific audience to meet a specific purpose. The objective may be to persuade or to inform or to recommend an action. Monitoring and evaluation reports are very valuable sources of information that can be a basis for making decisions. Monitoring reports normally should include an assessment and relevance of the relevance and performance of the program and projects. And they should identify early signs of potential problems or successes. Based on the assessment the monitoring report has done, and they should contain some practical recommendations on how to resolve the problems. Then evaluation reports, these serve the purpose of informing appropriate audiences about the findings and conclusions resulting from the collection, analysis, and interpretation of the evaluation information. Normally, evaluation reports focus on issues pertaining to relevancy, performance, and success. Whether to continue an intervention or discontinue the intervention, what were the lessons learned, to upscale the intervention, what are the problems, So they should include the core elements, the findings from your survey, your conclusions and recommendations, and also lessons learned. And normally these reports also justify the request for further funding. So it's very important for you to do your evaluation reports. So that is the structure of the M&E report. When it has the executive summary, it should be a 1 to 1.5 page, depending on the size of your report, and contains a brief overview, background and purpose and methodology of the study and major findings and recommendations. So it summarizes your whole report, as you hear the name, executive summary, containing a brief summary, background, purpose and methodology used in major findings. Then the background information. This chapter should contain sections that represent the background to the project and the M&E program, objectives and goals, and the purpose of the exercise. Should explain the purpose, scope, and evaluation of the questions you intend to answer. Then you have section 3, which is the methodology. This is a statement and explanation of the methods to collect and analyze evaluation data. It contains your data, sample selection, sources of data, types of respondents, data collection instruments used, and this instrument should also be attached in your appendix. Then the findings section. This is a chapter that is the gist of your M&E report. It gives you the factual statement about the program or project based on the empirical evidence. Findings should enable you have a critical assessment of the program or project in terms of how the design of the program or project was ensured in its relevancy. These are the dark criteria, dimensions of relevancy, efficiency, effectiveness, timeliness, impact, and sustainability, contribution to the capacity development. Should factor in the affected program or the project implementation, whether it has been positive or negative. It should also factor in how likely the project's listing on your evaluation, is it a success or a failure? The results, they can also have the cost-benefit implication for the target groups and the larger environments. So the finding section, you can arrange it according to the project hierarchy of results. The inputs, activities, outputs, outcomes, purpose, and goal. Inputs indicating were they used according to plan, activities were they accomplished on time, outputs for the outputs delivered on time, are they of the right quality and quantity, outcomes of the outputs being used to deliver expected outcomes to the user, and the purpose is the project being achieved. Is the project contributing to the overall goal of the broader development goal? That's how you should arrange your finding section. Then the conclusion also gives a reasonable judgment based on the empirical findings, the factual statements that correspond to the specific circumstances. It summarizes the answers to the original questions that the M&E exercise is set out to answer without repeating the facts represented in the results and discussion. So it brings everything together and briefly highlights your report's most important reports. This is also another important section because some people may also just read this. So in this section, may include the lessons learned and your recommendations in this section. Then the recommendation section, this is the proposal for actions to be taken under specific circumstances, meaning parties responsible for the actions here in this section. So you can put your recommendation should focus on improving the relevance, performance, and success of the program or project being evaluated, as well as the service similar interventions. They should also include suggestions for improving existing indicators or introducing new ones as needed. What should be done to improve the performance of the current project? You can ask yourself that when you're jotting down your recommendation section. Are we to close down the project if found never achieves its objectives, or what should be applied to other projects and the lessons learned? Information dissemination. So how do we disseminate after we've done our M&E reports? This is another key section, but most people normally don't forget about this step. It is important also plan for it, because you may forget it and end up that when you need to disseminate the results, you actually have no budget for it. So it's important to plan for it. It's guided by an effective communication strategy. The contents of the reports should be shared with all the stakeholders. This helps to increase accountability and transparency of the project activities. And furthermore, it boosts commitments of stakeholders to support the development interventions whenever you disseminate these results to the development partners. Some of the dissemination techniques you can use to disseminate information are announcements, discussion and broadcast in local news media, meeting with additional authorities or representatives of area councils, other opinion leaders, holding workshops or seminars and community meetings in central locations. Some of the problems that may affect your communication of findings are security. Some results are very sensitive that people may lose their jobs if you disseminate them, so it may hinder you to communicate the results. Lack of sufficient time to prepare, normally the M&E teams are not given a very tight schedule to prepare the reports. Inadequate funding. If you have no budgetary discipline, you find that you have no money to disseminate results. Different stakeholder demands. This may also create confusion. Political interference by the public sector, political players may affect dissemination of results in the technical data. So that's it about M&E and dissemination of results. Thank you very much.